Gold revaluation imminent. U.S. Treasury hoards top $1 trillion for the first time. But what do investors think? I think it's a great thing and a milestone that's sending ripples through the financial market. The U.S. Treasury gold reserves had surpassed $1 trillion in market for the first time ever. This is pretty crazy when you consider it's now $3,800 per ounce since October 2025. That's today. When you take a look at the Fed's role in the monetary problems, they've caused a lot of this problem. And I couldn't agree more that we need a new way to deal with the Fed. We can corral the Fed and get them to do what they're supposed to do. This would really make a difference. But the Treasury getting a hold of this, and then you take a look at the two charts, market value, there's a chart there I got from Zero Edge. Hats off to them. But you take a look at the other chart from Bloomberg that's in here. Take a look at the tons of gold in there. That makes me feel a lot better for hope for the US dollar is remaining the currency, because when the world currency was the British sterling pound, they lost it because of bad policies. And it's the bad policies that we're at now that could cause us to be lost as the world's currency. So I'm
absolutely. I think that's why gold stocks have crushed it. Our good friends Carl and Wasif over at Samaria Partners, their ETF is crushing it. Trust me, I have a little bit of that in my portfolio. Doing really well, guys. I highly recommend checking them out. But I think, you mentioned why gold is becoming important. Well, I think, anytime inflation goes up, anytime, the market becomes frothy, gold is seen much like Bitcoin as sort of that safe haven asset. So I think what you're seeing around the country is people or around really the globe is people saying, well, we need to add more gold to our balance sheet. And it's pretty unbelievable considering what the Federal Reserve is trying to do. I love this. You bring up the gold to oil ratio, which is a measure of how many barrels of oil to 1 ounce of gold buys, has fluctuated from 2015 to 2025. It averaged about 19 to 20, dipped to about 10 during the oil price spikes of 2022 when they were above $100 a barrel during the Ukraine conflict, and have climbed to periods above 30 in oil oversupply or weak demand. And as of August 2024, that ratio stood at about 31.
Now, let's throw this ugly baby on the doorstep. When you throw the ugly baby on the doorstep, China has been buying gold hand over fist and oil. So when you take a look at China's got some serious problems and everything else, they are also attributing. So we've got a huge chunk in there. And take a look at that. China has got 2.3 thousand tons of gold, but they have been buying more as a percentage than any of the others. Russia has a better mine than anybody else, and they're lucky enough to have actually decent gold mines. So pretty cool stuff.
No, gold. We've got a few of our listeners I know that have the gold bug themselves. Again, I do think we're going to continue to see the gold markets and things associated with the gold markets and mining stocks continue to increase. Be a great place to stash some cash.